This side. He's going to listen on that side. Come on in. Labor's in the house.
Unity in the community. Hi, laborers.
All right. You're in. All right. Your labor shirt on, that's correct. All right, labor's in the house. All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. We want to thank everybody for showing up. We want to thank everybody for coming out and supporting the TSOs out here, the Transportation Security Officers. That's the main job and their main purpose is to protect the people and protect the flying public out here. Now we asking for y'all help in getting our protection. We asking for y'all help in protecting the public as we need this help out here. We're looking at two major incidents that has taken place in the last 3 years. That's too many for my standards. We had an officer that got killed, shot and killed in the line of his work while he was on his job, just doing his job, and the guy come in there in the LAX airport and shot and killed him, and wounded a few more other employees. A couple weeks ago, we was at the New Orleans airport, New Orleans, Louisiana. We had a young lady that was on the job doing her job, and a guy come in there and sprayed her in the face with wasp spray and took out a machete and began spraying these people. Cutting these people. That's way too much. We're asking for the protection. We're asking for the police presence. We're asking for the people to step up and come to our aid and to defend us. And so that's why we got this little gathering here today. We're going to keep this moving right along. And first, I would like to bring to my recognize some people in our audience. We have Congresswoman Debbie Dingell, who's been on representing the great state of Michigan. We would like to say thank you, Congresswoman. Thank you for taking time out to be here with us. We really appreciate your support. We have a representative from Congressman Tyer's office, and we'd like to have him say thank you for being here. We talked to the Congressman. He lent his support, and we understand that he had another obligation that he could not make it, but he was really, he had great intent on being here. So we'd like to thank him for bringing out his people to come out here and help support us. And this is also from our national level, we have our national president, Mr. J. David Cox, who's Tom Wayne doing. We'd like to thank him for coming out here. From our district level, we have our national vice president, Ms. Dorothy James. We'd like to thank her for being out here. From the Michigan AFL-CIO, we'd like to thank Ms. Carla Swift. Ms. Carla Swift came out here. From our Labor Central Department, we got Mr. Rick Blocker. We'd like to thank him for coming out here and being with us. Yes, sir. We thank you all for coming out here. We'd like to thank all of the other locals and all of the other units to come out here and give us some support. We got UAW out here supporting us. Yeah! We had the Unite Here out here. They out here supporting us. We had the Labor Union. They out here. They out here. We had the CWA. We out here giving us support. We'd like to thank the EPA, all of AFGE, the Social Security, the VA. We'd like to thank all of the AFGE other locals to come out here and give us support. The Department of Defense. And anybody else who I did not mention. We really thank you for the solidarity, for the moment you guys coming out here and being with us today. So we want to thank you for that. Our next guest we want to bring up, I want to bring up is our Congresswoman, Ms. Debbie Dingell, representing the great state of Michigan. She's going to say a few words for you.
Thank you, Vaughn. I'm a little shorter than he is. I come through this airport at least twice a week, as everybody knows. Well, most of you know. These guys are my friends, and I talk to them every single week about what's on their mind. And first of all, I want to tell you and give you a big thank you on those passengers who fly every single day for what you do to keep us safe. Thank you very much. And I want to tell you how proud I am to stand here with Vaughn, an honor to be with President David Cox, the other members of Afge, and their brothers and sisters in other unions who are here standing with us, thanking them for what we do and drawing attention to an issue that too many people don't think about. That's what we all do, even when you're 5'2". Last week, or 2 weeks ago when I was here though, a number of them spoke to me about their concerns, about what we need to do to protect our airport, our passengers, and to protect the brave individuals who are keeping us safe. They told me that they were worried after New Orleans about their own personal safety. And you know, we know how hard these officers work. They have dangerous, high-pressure jobs. And we often complain when we have to take our shoes off, but we never thank them for making sure that people aren't smuggling something through that could hurt us when we are up there. And they shouldn't have to come to work fearing for their own lives as they're protecting us. So after LA, after New Orleans, it's clear, it should be clear that something had to happen, because what we're calling for, quite frankly to me, is basic protection 101. We need clear action. And I'm proud to stand with them today and call for new security measures to ensure that our screening areas are protected, that our passengers are safe, and that the traffic safety officers don't have to worry every day that they'll be next. A new law enforcement unit specifically trained and armed to respond to such attacks can prevent another tragedy from happening anywhere.
All right.
This new unit would ensure immediate law enforcement support is available when it's needed. And we know that when you have an active shooter, every second counts. We wish we didn't know. We shouldn't have to know it in this country, but we do. And we want to make sure that nothing else happens. It should not take another tragedy to spur action. Why do we always have to have something happen before we do what makes common sense?
Exactly.
So I'm proud to stand here with those that keep me safe when I fly every week. I thank them for what they do. And may we all listen and please take action we know is needed. Thank you very much.
Once again, and we want to thank the Congresswoman. We want to thank the Congresswoman for coming out here. We really appreciate your support that you have shown CSOs all across the country, especially in the state of Michigan. We really thank you, Congresswoman. Now I'm privileged to introduce AFGE National Vice President of District 7, Ms. Dorothy James. Dorothy James has spent her entire career advocating for the rights of federal workers to have dignity and respect on the job. Originally from Michigan, Dorothy James represents AFGE members in Michigan, Illinois, and Wisconsin. Let's please give a warm welcome for Ms.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for coming to support screeners here in Detroit. I just want to say that violence is a part of the history of our country. Federal property and employees have always been prime targets. Way back when we had stagecoaches, there were attacks at forts. Attackers have become more emboldened now. And most recently, 20 years ago, you remember Oklahoma City. You remember Timothy McVeigh, right here from Michigan, murdered 163 people in Oklahoma City. And 14 years ago, we had 9/11. 3,000 people didn't get to go home. parole agents, BOP, ICE officers are routinely killed. TSA is now in the line of fire. Each disaster has proven that security needs to be improved. Federal buildings now are like fortresses. It's almost as hard to get in a federal building as it is to get into Fort Knox. It's time to improve security for TSA. Yes! If screeners are not safe, the flying public is not safe.
Are you still part-time or are you
Screeners are not
full-time?
safe unless security measures are put in place. It's time for TSA to listen to their youth. It's time TSA provides a law enforcement unit. We need to let the public know that their safety is at stake too. The flying public feels less safe now than at any time in our history, having to deal with deranged passengers, questionable pilots, planes disappearing. Poor maintenance does not put the flying public in the comfort zone. The safety of screeners is linked to the public. Let's make darn sure the public knows it. It's time we tell the flying public, your safety depends on our safety. It's time for TSA to provide security protection to screeners. We need a law enforcement unit. Thank you.
And now I'm privileged to introduce a man who never backs down from a fight. As president of Afge, he has led the nation's largest federal union through shutdowns, furloughs, pay freezes, and a hostile Congress that still came out bigger and stronger than ever. He's here to see us all the way from Washington, D.C. Ladies and gentlemen, your national president, J. David Cox.
Thank you very much, brothers and sisters, and thank you, Vaughn. Thank you so much, Congresswoman Dingell. Is she not the best, brothers and sisters?
Yes!
The absolute best. Brothers and sisters, it is time that we start protecting those that protect us, and that's TSA. Brothers and sisters, you're right. After 9/11, the American public said, government, not a contract workforce, but a government workforce should protect the flying public, and TSA was created along with Homeland Security. But today, brothers and sisters, what's happening in Los Angeles, one of our members, a government employee, a person that protects the public, was murdered. A TSA officer was murdered. 2 weeks ago in New Orleans, we had an attempted murder of TSA officer in New Orleans. Brothers and sisters, it is time that TSA creates a law enforcement unit inside of TSA, a brand new unit that has law enforcement status, that is armed at every checkpoint in every airport in this country, protecting the fine men and women that do the screening of the passengers, the screening of the baggage, that make sure that we all travel safely. But most of all, we need to protect those employees because they're the ones that are being attacked, brothers and sisters. So AFGE appreciates the solidarity of great members of Congress that understands the need to have good government, employees protecting the American public. And we also appreciate the solidarity of the AFL-CIO and all of our brothers and sisters and all of its affiliates throughout the country. So brothers and sisters, if not now, when? It's time now. That TSA, brothers and sisters, creates a new law enforcement unit inside of TSA, controlled by TSA, to protect not only the American public, but the hard-working men and women at TSA. Thank you all very much. It's now.
We thank you, President Johnson, for your message. We thank you. We thank you.
Amen, right?
I want to take the time to recognize our letter carriers union out here too. So solidarity also. Thank you for being here. We thank you. Next, I would like to welcome Ms. Carla Swift, President of the Michigan AFL-CIO. Carla has dedicated her entire career to fighting alongside working families from time she was a rank and file member of the UAW Local 483 and General Motors. Now she represents over 1 million active and retired members of 59 unions throughout the state. Please come on and let's give a welcome to Ms. Carla Swift. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, President Cox, Vice President James. I'd like to welcome you back to Michigan, and thank you for coming to Detroit to lift up this very important security issue, important to both the public and to the TSA officers. I'd like to say something to start off to our TSO brothers and sisters that you probably don't hear a lot, and that's thank you. You know, as passengers, thank you. Thank you. As passengers, you know, we don't find heavy, tough at times. We gotta find a parking space. We gotta pack our bags and get them checked. We got those cramped seats, you know. But I gotta tell you, these men and women who are transportation safety officers know a thing or two about tough. Because being a TSO is a tough job. And it's an important job, and they deserve our thanks. So thank you all very much for serving us day in and day out. Our TSO officers are on the front lines each and every day right here in Detroit, keeping our skies safe and preventing the next air travel threat. They deserve to be respected and protected on the job, and that's why we're here today. We are here to stand in solidarity with our TSO brothers and sisters, and we have learned from these recent tragedies in New Orleans and Los Angeles that our TSOs and the passengers that they protect need better law enforcement support inside the TSA to keep our airports safe. There is no reason, absolutely no reason, why tens of thousands of TSA employees should come to work every day fearing that they may be the next targets. These dedicated public servants deserve better. And we're here today from the Michigan AFL-CIO on behalf of all of the unions in Michigan to stand together, to raise our voices, to send powerful messages that it's time for Congress and the TSA to take action and give our TSOs the protection they deserve. Thank you all very much.
DOD in the house! All right, DOD!
Hey, DOD is in the house. We'd like to bring on, please introduce our next speaker, Mr. Rick Blocker, President of the AFL-CIO. Rick has been a tireless advocate for working men and women for over 40 years, starting as a member of UFCW, Local 876. The Metro Detroit AFL-CIO is a coalition of local labor unions in Macomb, Oakland, and Wayne counties, which fights for working families and better working conditions for all. Please, please, please help me welcome Mr. Rick Blocker.
And I'd like to echo Carla's statements from the Michigan State AFL-CIO. We are thanking you for all the work you do. We got a simple message here. This sign says it all. So we got to keep us safe. Can we say that again? Keep us safe. 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 Okay. Right. On behalf of the Metro Detroit AFL-CIO and our 34 unions in Wayne and Oakland and Macomb County, we're with you. An injury to one is an injury to all. I see a lot of security here today. I fly a lot. I haven't seen this much out here before. I don't know if it was coincidental or not, but we know we need this kind of presence. We got some great unions that's with you. I know we mentioned them before, but we got the UAW in the house. We got Unite here, CWA, ULCW, AFGE. Let me mention the Labor's 1191. They always here for us. And we also got the letter carriers, and we all in support. I hope I didn't miss it. If I miss anybody union, holler out. All right. Operating engineer. Okay. We all with you. We're going to keep fighting. We're going to make sure you're safe. We got Workers' Memorial Day coming up on the 28th, and no family should have to worry about when their loved one leaves to go to a job if they're going to come home safe or not. Safety is the #1 priority. It's something that we can assure if we all work together. So we're with you. We're going to fight strong. We're going to be here for you. We're going to make sure that they keep us safe. Thank you.
Keep us safe! Keep us safe! Keep us safe! Keep us safe! Keep us safe!
Keep us safe. And our last speaker of the day I want to introduce is the TSA Council 100 Executive Vice President, Mr. Alan Jacomovitz. Alan is the #2 rep for the entire country. Alan goes to airports after airports and listen to our workers talk and listen to our workers to address their issues and their needs. He actually gets to meet with the people who suffer through these tragedies and stuff, and he can tell you a thing or two about what we need out here in these airports. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce Mr. Alan Jacomovitz.
I hear a lot of anger out there today. I'm gonna add a little sugar because we're gonna tone this down. After 9/11, we had a bipartisan House and Congress that passed a bill because American airline safety was at stake. A bipartisan Congress. Wow, something you can't even. When was the last time that happened? All right. We even had John McCain take a lead in writing that ATSA bill. And in that ATSA bill, he recognized that in those checkpoints, there's going to be a need for armed security. Well, today we're going to call you in, Mr. McCain, because you wrote it, all right? So we expect you to lead the way to fund it, all right? Everything comes down to money. We know this already, all right? Congress, the United States has a $3 trillion budget. Trillions. I don't even know how many zeros that is, all right? We can provide airport security in Iraq, in Afghanistan, yet we can't keep our own people in our own country, in our own airports from getting hurt, being shot. Think about New Orleans, all right? Had that terrorist, and I'm calling them a terrorist, the FBI for some reason likes to redefine people as mentally ill or whatever. But you know what? When you plan an attack on an airport facility, you're a terrorist.
Yes.
Had he thrown those 6 Molotov cocktails into a crowd, guess what? Congress today would be acting, all right? We lucked out. Let that be a wake-up call. We need to be proactive, not reactive.
Right.
Let's stop and help and secure our airlines from the street to the plane. TSA has done a great job from the checkpoint back. We have not had one terrorist attack on our soil. We have not had one plane hijacked. Well, guess what? We now need to address it from the checkpoint to the street. And that's what the new target of a terrorist is you. Every one of the airline flying public. You're now the new target. We need to stop this. We need to go to Congress and say, let's secure our airlines. It doesn't matter what it costs. The #1 priority in America should be Americans. Congress, do your job.
Do your job! Do your job! Do your job! Do your job! Do your job!
And I think our message was delivered loud and clear today. We want to thank everybody. We want to thank everybody in support of the TSOs that come out here. And remember, these TSOs are doing their job. They don't get to pick and choose which part of the rules they want to follow. If they don't follow them, there's consequences for those actions. And they should be protected coming in and going out. And the bottom line is, we ain't going to take this no more. So we want to ask for everybody's support. And we want to say thank you all for coming out here tonight. Thank you very much.